I don't even know where to start, to be honest. As you can tell by the title, this isn't going to be a, you know, cheerful one, but hopefully it will, in a nutshell, explain what the hell I've been doing for the past 9 months now. I apologise for the focus as well, and just the whole setup actually. I don't have a desk chair, so I've pulled my armchair over. I've had to guerrilla the lighting because I can't fit lights behind the desk, but I just don't care. Basically, from the start of the year to now, so we're in September now, 9 months, I have to say, honestly, admitting to myself that it is the worst my MS has ever been. Yes, I have had particular symptoms flare up worse than they have with what's been going on, but it was just like one symptom going nuts to deal with really badly, like when I lost the use of my legs, my optic neuritis, other symptoms. But this is different. This is like all my symptoms all playing up for a prolonged period of time. At first I put it down to the fact that it was winter, and you know, when I'm always bad in the winter, and as soon as the warmer months come in, I'm like a different person. But that point never came, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and yeah, it just got worse and worse. It got to a point as well where my neurologist put me on steroids. They didn't want to call it a relapse as such, but my symptoms were so bad that I needed steroids for them. My optic neuritis went, that was absolutely fine, but the rest of my symptoms were all still there, going mad for no reason whatsoever. I say no reason, but I have this underlying issue. I have been very stressed for this past few months, and I think this all goes to show just what stress physically does to you, and especially to people with MS. It scared me, to be honest with you, because like I said, I've never been this bad for this prolonged period of time before. There's a cat about to kill itself somewhere nearby, so if you hear a sudden crash, always fatigued, always, and I just deal with it as and when. You know, you have these coping mechanisms you manage / don't manage, but just get on with it anyway. The fatigue has been so bad that I struggled to eat. I was too tired to eat, and I'm not talking you know, cooking and preparing the meal. I'm talking about, you know, physically feeding myself and chewing the food. I was too exhausted to do that. So you can figure out why I haven't vlogged as much as I promised, let alone do any videos at all. I've actually been doing something as well that I thought I'd never do, and that's trying to hide it from people. Not having MS and not hiding that, but hiding how bad I am and how badly I'm struggling. So the last thing I want is for people to be stressed over me being stressed with my MS. I don't want people to worry about me. So that's been really hard, but it's not just hiding it from other people, it's admitting to myself, and that is, you know, that's only come very recently, looking back at the whole beginning of this year to now. I, you know, realise how often I've had to ask for help. How, you know, the other day I thought, how many times have I used my oven this year? And I can count them on, not only can I count them on one hand, I can tell you four times I've used my oven this year. And as someone who loves to cook, that's really bad. Penny, however, is doing great. She's always got friends that are around to walk her and everything, so that's not too bad, and she certainly kept me busy and certainly added to some of the stress, but that's fine. She's the best headache I've ever had. Aren't you? Oh, okay. Say hey, YouTube. Hi. there has been nothing that I've wanted to do more than talk to you guys and check in with you all. You know, I've missed you guys, I've missed the company, but I just haven't, you know, let alone to rig up a whole proper sit down video. I've really wanted to vlog because, like my old videos, people need to see the reality of MS and how bad it can get. But I couldn't physically hold my camera up. That's how bad it's been. On top of all this, when I was on steroids, I then got an infection, which was just lovely, a sinus infection. It was so bad. Luckily, I stayed out of hospital. I was okay. And it cleared, well, 99% cleared up the infection. I had to miss a Tysabri infusion, obviously, because of the antibiotics. But that was coming up to 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. But this past week, I have another thing that I've admitted to myself is that the infection is still there. I've still got all the sinus infection symptoms, and I'm waiting for them to calm down. They're not. So I went to my doctors yesterday and said, you know, what do you think? I think I could do with some more of these antibiotics, and she agreed. So I'm on that. Second day of antibiotics now, and I do feel very sick, but I'm used to feeling really sick. I get constant nausea. The most disabling symptom that I've had in all of this, I have to say, it isn't just the fatigue, as much as that is very, very disabling. Maybe not disabling, so wrong, but the worst symptom I've had are my trigeminal neuralgia attacks, which I used to be able to get away with once a month. Maybe I'd have an attack, and it's now a few times a week, and it's hell. Only if you've had a trigeminal neuralgia attack can you even begin to relate to the pain that you go through. And I've started on carbamazepine. I didn't want to because I'm on so many drugs, you can imagine, and I'm so wary about trying new drugs as well. But I was so desperate that I did give this a go. I picked them up today actually, because Boots didn't have any in yesterday, so they had to order them in. So I started carbamazepine today. Can't say it's done shit so far, but obviously I haven't had to think about my MS like this for a long time. Like, obviously it's there all the time, but consciously recognizing the fact that I am really struggling, so it's thrown me mentally a little bit. Like I said, it is scaring me, but I've just got to get on with it. I have been trying to have lots of fun though, and I have been having loads of fun. I went on a massive adventure to Amsterdam at the beginning of last month for a few days, and that was like trip of a lifetime. It was amazing, and even though I really really struggled through that trip, I couldn't get out of bed until gone like 11, maybe midday. It was just such a struggle, and I was in a lot of pain, but I still had an absolutely amazing time. So I'd only be exhausted and in pain in the UK, so fuck it. And then we had Bournemouth Air Show as well, which was good. You know, it was Bournemouth Air Show. The Saturday was rained off mostly, but the Sunday was pretty good. It's just not the same without the Vulcan though, is it? I suffered pretty bad all through that as well. You know, it's amazing. I've wanted to make this video for so long, and I just, isn't it funny how the words just go and what you want to talk about, what you want to say. But aside from all of this that's been going on, the past, I'd say 3 days, I have been feeling pretty good. To be honest, compared to how I have been, I felt amazing, which is really, it's thrown me a little bit, because I'm like, what's wrong, what's changed, when am I going to go downhill again? Hence why I have the energy to talk to you guys at long last. So in terms of where we go from here, I'm seeing Dr. Furby on the 7th of this month, I believe. So that's a few days away. That's going to be interesting. All the symptoms that I've been going through are symptoms that I've had before, you know, nothing's new. So I'm confident that there's no new activity on my brain, but he'll probably order an MRI just to see, just in case. But I'm petrified, to tell you the truth. I'm absolutely petrified because I really, really do not want to come off Tysabri because it's been such a miracle for me. But we shall see. We shall see. I have been looking into something that will help my headaches. I have a permanent headache, like 24/7. It's always there. I can't imagine what it's like to not have a headache. You know, it's just something that I've become used to, really used to. And I get very frequent migraines, like one a day, I'd say. And then, you know, if I'm really unlucky, the trigeminal neuralgia on top of that. But I've been looking into all sorts of ways that I can help them because no, you know, drugs are really getting rid of this. I mean, I know I'm going to try the carbamazepine for my trigeminal neuralgia, but in terms of this permanent headache and constant, you know, chronic migraines, if someone told me to drink my own pee, I would. But loads and loads of research on this, and a lot of people have had really good experiences with getting Botox for their chronic migraine. And I first read that and I was like, oh my God, no, I'm not doing that. You know, I'm 29, I'm not having Botox at 29. But then I did my research and I learned what Botox actually is. You know, it's not a filler, it's a medicine, it's, you know, medication that relaxes your muscles. And the more I look into it, the more it does make sense. My permanent headache that I have is very tensiony, like across here. It's like I'm being pulled. It's horrible. So, you know, even if it just took the slightest edge off of these headaches and migraines, it would change my life forever. So what I've done is I've booked a consultation in Southampton with a doctor that has done this for migraines, and that is on the 11th of September, and I'm very excited because I might, you know, finally found something that will help my headaches. Let me know if any of you guys have had it. I would really want to hear your experiences. Obviously, I know it doesn't work for everyone, but if you're in the same position as me, you will know you'll try anything. So I'm starting to babble now, so I guess I should go. This is by no means the best video, and I'm sorry about that. I just needed to vent and let you all know that my MS has been giving me jip. It's taken over for a little bit, but now hopefully everything's back on track and I'm going to control my trigeminal neuralgia and try and get these migraines under control as well. So hey ho, hey, yeah. Penny, look at the camera for the thumbnail. I will catch you guys soon, I promise. Thank you everyone for all your well wishes. I have got so many messages and tweets seeing how I am, and it's been really nice, because you'll know if you're in pain a lot, it's a very lonely place, pain. So it's nice to have people to, you know, chat with, and nice to know people are thinking of you. So thank you very much, guys. In the meantime,